card.
All right. First up, we got Chidi Njokuani versus Albert Duraev. I am riding with Chidi Bang Bang Njokuani for a couple of reasons. Real power from Chidi, like extreme power. Last couple of fights, he's 4-1. Last fight was a loss to RoboCop, but RoboCop was doing that to everybody. Around these guys and like the Albert Duraev skill level, like Dushko Todorovic, Marc-Andre Barrios, these guys, Chidi's getting it done. And Albert Duraev really took a beating the last time around, too, against Joaquin Buckley, not even a year ago. But, I mean, he absorbed a lot of strikes in that fight. When you have a guy with fast hands, slick combinations, and a lot of power, it does not spell a good night for Albert Duraev. And then you look at the size comparison of these two men, too. 6'3" Chidi versus 5'11" Albert. And 80-inch reach advantage as opposed to 75. That's over 5 inches in reach advantage. I think Chidi Njokuani is going to either knock Albert Duraev out or have a similar outcome to the Joaquin Buckley fight where he just annihilates Albert Duraev's face. That's a good one to look back on. If you like disgusting MMA post-fight pictures, like the Rafael Fiziev one yesterday. That's how Albert Duraev's face looked after he fought Joaquin Buckley. There's really not a lot of defense from Albert Duraev. His plan when people are punching him is rather than put his hands up is just to try and eat them. Just take it on the chin every single time. Roll with the punches. So I'm going with Chidi Njokuani. I think the size is big, the power is big, and then the lack of defense from Albert Duraev is big. What do you think here, Tom?
Yeah, I'm right there with you. Listen, the big thing about Albert Duraev that you were saying is that his face shows damage, kind of the opposite of Justin Gaethje. And Chidi Njokuani is a long guy, a quick guy who throws elbows and spinning attacks that I would be concerned about Albert Duraev coming into this when his eyes swell up or he starts bleeding from a particular area. And then, that it impacts whether it's your breathing or your style or your vision or what have you. I would get really concerned there. Also, Albert Duraev is a guy who is strong in the grappling. As a Russian, that's not a shocker, but he's also a guy who doesn't take a step back and he'll still continue to come forward. And a guy against a long, fast, powerful guy like Chidi Njokuani, that's a very detrimental skill set to have because Chidi can just run around on the outside, throw those long kicks, beat up your legs. Then when you get a little bit more stationary, come in, throw 1, 2, maybe lead into like some sort of elbow, especially in on a clinch. If Duraev's going to try and clinch and get Chidi down, Chidi has pretty good takedown defense and throws those massive elbows from inside there. So I would be really concerned coming in this fight as an Albert Duraev bettor. So I'm not going to be one, and I'm going to put my money on Chidi Njokuani. Albert Duraev being Russian, he is extremely tough. So betting on the fact that he's going to get knocked out is a little bit of a stretch for me. At minus 195, I don't hate the Chidi Njokuani money line bet. If you can get him like technical, if you can get him like TKO decision, no bet, and just increase that line a little bit more for you. So maybe it'll probably only be like maybe 175. Maybe it might not even be much better because nobody's expecting Chidi Njokuani to go out there and get the submission. But at minus 185, minus 175, I don't really mind that line. So I would go with Chidi on this one.
Yeah, I think he's a solid pick in this fight.